Hi, this is Kaiden from Math Magic with Kaiden, and in this video we are going to go through some of the models that my students have drawn, and also I will show you an example of how to simplify a difficult P6 prelims question using models, and it becomes so easy to solve the question. So I'm going to show you some real examples of models that my students have drawn before, and then I will also share my comments on how to improve those models. And lastly, I'll show you how to use models to solve a difficult P6 question. Now, before you watch on, if you have not, please go and watch my video on how to draw models first. All right, that will really help you to understand why I share those comments, and also what are my thoughts on how do you actually draw a good model for problem sums. Now, why should we even bother to put our effort to draw good models? All right, so I've been teaching mathematics for full-time for 5 years, and I really think models, when drawn correctly, can help you solve difficult questions. This is especially more important from P3 to P5 SA1. And the simple reason is because they have not learned ratios yet. So if you haven't learned ratios, you cannot use the table method to solve your problem sums, which basically makes it very difficult, especially if you have a multi-step problem sum, right? It's quite difficult to solve without using the tables. And I cannot teach P3 to P5 before SA1, right? Before they learn ratios, how to use the tables. And even after they have learned it, right, it takes a while for them to pick it up. The other thing is when you have things, when you are difficult P6 questions where you have 3 multiplied by maybe 2u minus 6, something like this. Okay? P6s, once you use this kind of algebra with them, they really just like switch off. So in this kind of situation, when you are able to draw models, it really helps you to solve this kind of questions, and you can avoid using difficult algebra like this. The other situation is also this, when you have questions where 3u minus 7 equals to 1u plus 6. All right, and then you need to find one unit. Wow, when they see this kind where you need to flip over, right? Wow, it's very, very hard for them. So easy for adults to use this, but models will help you to solve this kind of questions much easier. And of course, we want to be able to solve all this to get more marks in your paper 2. So paper 2 is really known as the killer paper. I've seen students getting like 10 marks, 12 marks, single digit sometimes in paper 2, which really is not necessary. The questions might be harder, but it's not that hard until you have to get so little marks. So I think I know that if you can draw good models, if you know how to solve questions using your models, you can get a lot more marks. That being said, not all questions use models. It's like some students, I think they feel that models can solve every single question, which is absolutely not true. All right, some questions are easier using other methods, and some don't need models, those very, very easy ones. So the key thing is you need to learn how to match the questions to the method, all right? And the reason why I am sharing this with you, I'll share the other methods in a later video, but basically I really believe, right, if you only have a hammer, then every problem becomes a nail. So if you only know how to use models, then every problem you just use models, which is not good. So I want to give you a hammer, I want to give you a saw, I want to give you a screwdriver, all right, screwdriver. So different tools to solve different kind of problems. Okay, let's look at the examples over here. So this is actually a P3 question. Total height is this, Adam is this, more than Benson, Benson is something taller than Adam. So this, when you see things like more than, taller, shorter, fewer, less, those are perfect questions for you to use models to solve. And let's look at how this student has done it. So a lot of teachers will actually tell them to draw a line on the left side to align all the models together. So I like that she have left some space between the models, but I would encourage them to leave even more space so that you can label this in future. This is quite nicely done, as in you can see that the 12, when it reflects down, right, there is some space over here, and she wrote the 8 outside. So the 12, try to write it on top. When you reflect down, the red mark was done by me, so write 12 here. And generally move this model to your top left corner or your top right corner and draw a line in between. Because what happens, right, this is like somewhere in the middle of the page, and you can see that her working is just randomly everywhere, and there were no statements over here as well. Okay, but specific to the model, I think this is a reasonably drawn model. If you talk about reflection, right, this is also another case where you just reflect. So you have 12 here, you can reflect downwards and you get another 12 over here. Oh yeah, she didn't write the total, which is 284. So total is always written here, 284. So overall, I would give this out of 10 marks, maybe 7, 8 marks. Yeah, this is a reasonably well-drawn model. Okay, let's look at this question. This student. This is the same question, right? So I want to let you know that this is actually an A4 paper. This whole paper was A4 size, all right? And she basically took the entire paper to draw the model. Now, so this one again is in the middle of the page, which is not recommended. And if you look, right, this line is slanted, and if you try and cut this 12 down, basically you can tell, like, this 18 should be, C has 18 more than A, right? Carol is 8 cm taller than Adam. So the 12 should be here and the 18 should be here. Okay, so this is actually a case where you can tell she just tried to draw. I mean, teacher asked me to draw there, I just draw just to show the teacher that I can do it. Yeah, so make sure when somebody like C is longer than A, right, make sure that you can reflect it down and draw this extra part over here, and then this 12 will then reflect it down and you can draw the 12 over here. Okay, she also didn't draw the total, and this student, her handwriting is very big, so she took up almost the entire A4 paper just to do very simple working, which needs to be improved lah. Okay, this is student C, third student. So nicely labeled over here, nicely drawn. So again, this is an example of how you have a nice long model with a very small difference in the end. Okay, so what you want to do is have about this length of the model. The difference is about 2/3 like that. So there's a reasonably significant difference over here. So this is very short lah. So even if I draw it down, again, it's very, cannot really tell that there's a 12 over here. Okay, so you need to reflect it down. She did the total, which is 284, so well done over here. And some of her working is done over here. So let's look at this question. This is actually a P6 question. And straight away you can tell a few things, right? It's drawn in the middle of a page. The models are stuck together, and she is labeling the inside. So try not to try not to label the inside. It's super easy to make careless mistakes with it. And this is also quite obvious that, I drew the model on the board and then he's just trying to like copy the model and doesn't really know what's going on. And if you look at the handwriting, right, maybe now you know why it's important to have good handwriting. Yeah. So labeling inside, I don't even know what's this as well. So draw the whole model on the left side or the top left or the top right. Okay, don't draw in the middle of the page. Separate the models and also label at the label with the brackets. Okay, don't label inside. It's easy to make careless mistakes. So this is also the same question for primary 6. I'm going to go through this question later and you all can see what it means. So he didn't label this actually, so I told him to label, then he labeled A and B. No labels over here. I don't know what he's writing over here as well. Supposed to reflect down, did not reflect. Supposed to reflect up, I think, did not reflect. Basically, this model is useless, alright? Not very useful. And they just need to be, they need to have the belief that, hey, models actually work and it allows them to solve difficult questions. Okay, so this is actually the P6 question that was tested. So you have big sheets, 60 stickers, small sheets, 25 stickers. Andy and Ben bought the same number of sheets of stickers. Okay, so same number, right? I would draw the same model. So this is Adam, and leave a space. This is Ben. Okay, so this is Adam and this is Ben. So, no, not Andy. Andy bought 8 small stickers and Ben bought 17 small sheets of stickers. So Andy bought 8, right? So 8 I just put here, and then I label on top 8. 17, right? So I just put 17 here. 17 is more than 8, right? So I just put 17 over here. Right? Not very hard, right? What was the difference in the total number of stickers between Andy and Ben? Okay, so straight away I have 8. What I want to do is I want to reflect it downwards. So I draw a line here. I reflect it downwards. And then I label on the top. This is 8. Okay, so now you know what I mean. If I drew 17 inside here just now, then I will be confused because I don't know where's my 17, and I need to know my 17 is actually this whole part. So let's remove my 17, and I have my 8 over here. So now I remember I told you models turn everything into number bonds. So I have 17, I have 8, then what is this? So 7, 8, 9. So this part is actually 9. Right. So once I get 9, I then need to reflect it upwards. So I reflect it upwards. And I draw a line here. And this part is 9. Okay. So not very hard at this point, right? And I need to know that this is 17 small, this is 8 small, and this is 9 small. This is 8 small, and this is 9 big. All right. So this part is actually the same. This is all. I don't know how many, but I know this is big, and I know that this is big. So the difference in the total number of stickers between Andy and Ben would be just this part. Do you understand? 8 small can cancel out each other. Whatever big can cancel out each other. So this part is the difference. So Andy bought 9 big over here. Ben bought 9 small over here. So I need to find the difference between big minus small is 60 minus 25 equals to 35. And I know the difference is 9, right? Because Andy bought 9 big here and 9 small here. So 9 times 35 equals to, and that's the answer. Okay, so I'm not sure about you, but really with models, this question, this is actually not a very easy question. It's quite a hard question. So, but with models, right, it really made the question easier. So this was actually what I drew on the board, and you can see students, they try and copy it, and this is actually what they copied or what they drew by themselves. So need a bit more help lah. Okay, so need to combine them together, one unit, and yeah. So yeah, it's really just going step by step, one line at a time, going through the questions, making sure that you can solve it. So in this video, I have shown you real examples of models students draw, how they can be improved. All right, I also show you how they can improve, and also show you how to use models to solve a difficult P6 question. So every time my students come here, I will encourage them to train them to draw it in the correct manner. All right, and I also hope that you can see the value of drawing models in the value of drawing good models and how it can help you to solve difficult questions.